Every man has his techniques, and they're all different. And when you know mine, you'll be dead.
All right, hello everyone out there. This is going to be another episode of Dead Air Radio where we read some comments. This one was on our Setup Madness episode. So we're going to go over and we asked everybody to, in the comments, leave what boards they're riding, what their setup is, and we're going to take a look at them and, I guess give our 2 cents or just even see what people out there are using, get out from under our rocks and see what the rest of the world is doing. Got Mitch here. Mitch, are you excited to go on this journey with me tonight?
Dude, so damn many comments. This is awesome.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to see what other people are riding and then trying to figure out where they're from.
Oh, that's a good one too. Hopefully we'll find out some of those mysteries. But yeah, thanks everybody who left comments too. That was awesome. It's what we asked and we received. I think it was like double the comments to likes. So I don't know if that says something about the podcast, but it was cool to see all the comments. So I guess we'll just get into this and we'll start and we'll go over these. So we got Glenn's Dad 51, a local 825 board out of Springfield, Missouri. 8.5 independent trucks bought from Conservation Skate Shop. 60 millimeter nano cubics bought at the Springfield Skate Park. Have a great week. Interesting there.
Somebody that supported Jeremy.
Yeah, which is cool. It's interesting. 825 board and 8.5 trucks, and then 60 millimeter wheels. Board seems a little out of place there.
I mean, I ride an 825 board with 8.5 trucks.
I asked about transition.
The 60s
transition,
board.
Curbs, parking blocks, rope skating, crazy stuff here. Haha. Yeah. So going into this, what did you think like the most common stuff would be before we read any more?
I mean, 825 has to be the most popular board size.
Mm-hmm.
And then wheels, I mean, Spitfire owns the market. Like, everybody else is trying, but Spitfire. Like, Spitfire's the established. Like, it's definitely the biggest by far. So, but they make so many variations that it's like, oh, this person rides classics, where like, somebody else would never ride a conical wheel, or they have so many different shapes, the tablets and all that stuff. So it's interesting. I want to look through it and see more of like what's out there.
That's what I was saying. Probably 8.25 board. I'm thinking independents are going to be the most popular truck for whatever reason. Yeah, and it's definitely going to be a Spitfire wheel. And then I guess it depends how in-depth anybody got with saying whatever else they have. At Owen Hensley 4029, who edited this, LOL, I'm skating a mini logo 8-inch deck, Venture Low 5.2 standards. Venture Low 5.2 standards? I guess that's just the solid.
Yeah, like a regular Venture.
51 millimeter Croupier JBZ Skinnies 101A and Bones Reds. Wow, this sounds very close to what I would ride, Mitch.
Yeah.
You're right about the mini logo decks, man. I'm definitely overall satisfied. Hell, I might even try a flight deck, which, again, I'm always going to say, if you like a mini logo board and then you want to like break the bank and try something really cool, definitely get a flight board and a can of spray paint. The graphics are something to look at, but the boards are amazing. Have you ever skated Dwindlewood, specifically Almost? They are mad flat. I'm going to disagree on that. I always thought the kicks were too much on them, but I did have one Almost board. Mitch, I probably sound like a broken record. I had a Chris Haslam with Captain Caveman on it, worst graphic ever. And it was magically stamped. It was an 8.25, and I remember it was stamped. It was like mellow concave medium kick, and I've never seen it again, and that board was magical. But I don't know.
Coming to an outlet discount store near you very soon.
It's funny. I'm going to be rummaging through those to try and see if I can find anything. But yeah, I mean, at least this setup too, all seems like it fits together. You got the board and the 5.2 low trucks for an 8-inch board, 51 millimeter wheels, 101s, and your Bones boards. So that seems like a very complimentary setup, I would say.
Yeah,
you would be miserable on that setup, right?
What was that?
You'd be miserable on that setup.
It definitely would not be for me.
Yeah.
Too low to the ground, too flat.
That's a nollie flip setup. Man. All right. At RPM McDermott, love hearing about the setups. I'm on an 8.55 Politic flat as fuck, Indy 149s, Spitfire 50 millimeter tablets, Reds, and Jessup. What are your thoughts on that one, Mitch?
So, I mean, you were into those flat boards. I definitely couldn't do it.
Yeah. Now, is that the right size Indy for that too?
Yeah, 149 is an 8.5 truck.
So here's one a friend of mine used to laugh at. So the Indies are high. Like an Indies are a higher truck. We used to see Brian Wenning, and he would have 49 millimeter wheels and Indies, and we'd always laugh like, why doesn't he just get the bigger wheels to go faster? Get like a 51 millimeter wheel and a lower truck. Because it gets so weird. He gets the little wheels in the high truck. It looks weird. Like just aesthetically, it looks weird.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, the flatboards are cool. Trucks, I just like I'm a small wheel guy, so to me that's pretty cool.
I saw your comment in there too. It's like not liking how the tablets look.
Yeah,
Personally, yeah, I like my wheel to be rounded on the edges. I don't like a squared off wheel.
Which is funny, right? Because it's like it still kind of functions the same. You probably get more grind clearance, but yeah,
Angel swears that you can lock into grinds better on those the conical or tablet wheels.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
So damn ugly.
It's just it feels weird to me.
I wasn't a fan at all, but he likes them and he skates crusty spots, so it's a happy medium between the classics and the conicals. But do they make 50 millimeter conicals?
Spitfire makes so damn many wheels.
Yeah. All right. At Mike Powley 917, 8-inch BBS generator blank, 147 Thunders, 52 Formula 4 Spitfires, Girl 7/8 hardware, short thread ones. That's like a special thing they make, right? Didn't they have like a marketing thing with those, Girl, with the short threads? And
I don't know. I've never really paid attention to it. But I mean, is it like with like the old Shorty's bolts where it was only halfway threaded up?
Yeah, or it was even less than that. Oh, you know what? It might have only been the tips because I think they were saying like it rattles or it loosens your board or something. It digs into your trucks.
Oh, I don't know.
There's something with that. So it's like super short threads. I'll try and find a picture and throw it up. And then he wants to try Venture Lows soon, which Mike, I think you should. Although Mike is a really good skater. And if he can do everything he can on his 147 Thunders, I don't think he should switch anything up. That's just me. I'd be terrified. Like if he can ride that, he can. But Venture's going to ride a lot different than that Thunder. He's going to go to turn and tip over. But yeah, you know what's funny is the 8-inch generator boards, man. That's where I'm at right now. Flat, and then the flattest of the bunch, and then sat under a car. So, and you can do. I know you can do basically whatever, but you've been doing right with Terra's all generators, so.
Yeah, I can just ride their stock shape because most of them aren't. Every once in a while, I'll find one that's a little too flat, but I'll just save that for you guys. But luckily, I can pick from the stack and look and see what's there.
Isn't that fun? I don't know. I think it's like,
and it's maddening at the same time.
Yeah, but I used to love unloading. Getting like, all right, DOA, cool. I got 30 of these, 8 1/4s or whatever I was riding at the time. And like hand picking through all of them. I would make a stack. And then I would start making the stack. All right, so this is all the ones I think I want from this stack. Go to this graphic. All right. And then I would start combining those and sorting through those. And like I'd make like, it would go from like 30 boards to like 20 boards to 10 boards. And then I'm down to 5. And then I got to pick the, out of that, the best of the best. I miss those days. I don't know. If you can deal with the Thunder Slide, I do think it's a pretty good truck. All right, Duplensky really ties the room together. I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means?
Big Lebowski reference.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, so you get that?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never seen that movie. Douglas Wares 5614. Stage 10 lows are really good, but wheel bite. Yeah, they do. Well, actually, I had to tighten mine up. I just rode those Indy lows, and it was cold. And Mitch, I don't know if I told you this. So I had this weekend. It was like 30s out.
Yeah.
And cool. I had a Venture issue with the tight trucks where it was too tight. I couldn't move. and I just couldn't warm up on my board. It felt terrible. So I had another setup with the Indies, and they were tighter, but they had a little more play. Like they were cranked, but I had a little more turning. So I was like, all right, cool. And then I skated the day after, and I just wasn't a fan. I just went back to the Ventures. It was a little warmer out. So, but I do agree with you on that. With the cold days in the Ventures is like not a good look. He has a 129 version and set them up on a sub 8 deck. Thanks. And my sticker jobs are always on point. I appreciate that. I spend hours and hours and hours setting up my stickers. But yeah, the Indy lows were, for me, Mitch, as I remember them being cool, I'm going to say a failed experiment. I went right back to the Ventures.
Well, you're at a different place in your skating, and like, I'm sure if I went back and rode whatever from 10 years ago, I wouldn't be psyched on it either.
Yeah, it's weird because I'm just like really like, I was like, nope, feels way better. It could have been the deck because I had those on a flight board. The Indies were on the flight. My Ventures were on an 8-inch, now I love it, generator board. And which is weird because I think I'm a big wheelbase person. I think I'm not a short wheelbase guy because the Ventures push it out and the generators are 14 and a quarter. So I'm pushing that out even further, but I like it. Super weird.
I can't do the short. Like the 14 to 14 and a quarter is good. Like when I see people riding like a 13.75, I'm like, I just don't understand.
Because I remember I was doing Ventures on a 775 mini logo, and that's like 13.8 wheelbase. And I thought like, oh, this brings it out to about 14, and that's why I like this. But I don't know. Super weird. I just don't even understand the science behind it or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Indies, it just felt weird. Again, it could have just been them on, maybe if I put my Ventures on, the flight board, I'd like the flight board. Or if I put those Indies on the generator, maybe I'd like that. I mean, I might experiment with that. But
have some madness, play around with it.
But with the flight board, I wasn't, it wasn't working for me. And Douglas wears, again, Riptide Pivot Cups. That was the Pivot Cup company. So I know people love those. Here we go. Duplensky. Indy lows look kind of sick. Saw some on eBay recently. They do look pretty cool. It looks like they also have like a lot of grind space. Like they definitely made the grinding part, of the hanger beefy.
Yeah, because the Kingpin's not real tall.
No. So that was like pretty cool. It almost looks like they're bent. And we got, what else? Duplensky saying. He's going to get some frequent flyer miles. I like the old Thunder lows. They were like a heavy low venture, basically identical. Used to swap hangers between them, but I had 2 pairs of them in a row. Axle slip and never got them again. Yeah, axle slip sucks. I hate that. That's what did my other lows in, Mitch. And then you came and saved me. But yeah, the old Thunder lows, I do remember them being kind of heavy and clunky. But did you ever have those?
I never skated Thunder lows. When I skated Thunders, it was always highs.
Yeah, the Thunder lows were like, it was like almost, again, like you just wheel bite.
Yeah, I feel like when I was skating Thunders, the lows were that like, it's not anodized, but whatever it is, where it's like there's like a rough texture to the truck.
Yep.
I hate those.
Oh, like that's my favorite looking truck, like the Raws.
Oh, I just hate to touch it. It's like a texture thing with me. I guess I'm weird.
Wow.
But hate it.
I know what to get you for your birthday now. That's so funny because those are my favorite. When they do those Raws, I'm always like, oh, that is the coolest looking thing. It looks like they're softer. They'll grind better.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't do it.
Wow. That's interesting.
Like I used to eat, like to the point that I hated putting boards together at the shop that had those trucks.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
I don't have many weird sensory issues, but that might be my one.
All right. You're entitled. Luckily, that's not a common truck finish. So, Duplensky again. I can't do graphics in on brand new wheels. It would bug me. Mitch, you can bond with him on that, right?
I just always rode the wheel. I feel like the shape is different facing the wrong way.
Are they? I mean, I guess I'm like,
who knows? Maybe I'm completely out of it, but in my head, it's backwards. But I've been doing it the other way.
Is it weird? Is it hard for you to like?
No, it's whatever. like I understand on like a Spitfire Classic where you like the big logo on the outside and then the words on the like you can flip that and put
Yeah.
that on the inside. That's fine. But like the Bones STF ones or the X formulas before that, I wrote them graphic out.
Really? Wow. Do a lot of people give you shit for that?
No, nobody says anything.
Wow.
Maybe they talk shit behind my back.
You got a good bunch of friends there, Mitch. That's what I'm going to say. I just couldn't look, and it's not even like it matters. You know what I mean? Like the graphics fall off anyway. It's just funny.
Yeah.
It's such a random thing. Carum 32. I have a bit of a quiver currently, but the two boards I do tend to ride: a chocolate Tershi board, 925 shape, Indy 169s, 52 millimeter spits, and a Heroin egg, 10-inch symmetrical with 77 aces and 60 millimeter Cater full conicals. Antics skate shop hardware. I usually skate. Oh, he gave us the full kit. This guy went above and beyond, so that's awesome. Nike Dunk Lows in the black white gum colorway, or I think I'm going to try these iShot Maxes or the NB 440 NJ Skate Shop collab. Well, a lot of information there, Mitch.
Yeah. I didn't realize this dude was Antics guy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, he must be from Jersey, right? You would
yeah,
think.
yeah, I would hope so. NJ shoes and Antics.
Is Antics Jersey or PA?
Jersey.
They're Jersey, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so he skates the chocolate is an experimental board that he's enjoyed, but he uses the Heroin one on curbs. That's a big board, man.
Yeah, I get what they're going for with those, and like everybody plays around with them, but that just seems like too much board.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's at least this setup seems normal. Like he's got the big board, big trucks, big wheels. Like,
yeah, he's not riding it on like skinny trucks.
Yeah, a 9 1/4 with 52s. That's got to look wild. Wow. But I mean, it's probably fun to roll around on. I can't knock that.
Yeah, them 9 1/4 might be like a super tapered. Like I skated a girl like a Simon board that was like that, where it was his shape is like a weird tapered one, where it like looks like a normal board. It just widens out in the middle, not like an egg, but
Right.
just a little more full.
And then he's got his Dunk Lows. So here we go. We can get into this one then. So he's got the Dunk Lows, the iShot Air Maxes, and the NJ 440s. Those were like the white with red.
Mm-hmm.
Those were cool. Those were so cool.
Like,
those I would like want to wear around to walk around, and they looked so cool.
Yeah, they had something to do with like the baseball stadium up there or something.
Yeah, awesome collab. NJ killed it with that.
Yeah.
I guess if I'm taking those three shoes though, I'm taking the Dunk.
Yeah, it's interesting. I got those iShots just to try them on, like feel them out or a little. They look like a bulky shoe. Like I thought they would feel like a Dunk or like a Tiago or something, but the sole is thin. Like the insole is thick, but the sole itself is like pretty thin. So you have a lot more board feel than I would think you'd have.
Yeah, I tried them on and I stood on them because I was like, these things are kind of growing on me now. Like the little, the iShot footage was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I love my Asics, but I just want to try these on, and I put them on, I stood up and I was like, awesome. I fucking hate these things. And I took them right off. They felt like the sole felt like 6.0 cheap. There was something like, they just felt like, it almost felt like I had no insole at all. It felt like taking the insole out of a shoe and standing on it.
Yeah, they're definitely like surprisingly thinner than I thought they would be.
But I was like, cool, this shoe blows.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I just don't think I could skate it.
Yeah, it definitely grew on me though. Like seeing people with it, I was like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. It's like really looks like an old Nike like basketball shoe kind of. I mean, that's cool. So the two the boards with the quiver and the two setups. Like I said, I ran that the other day trying trucks, and I was kind of happy I did because the first one I didn't like. So I was like, oh, I'll bring out the other one, and it worked.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that in the last one. Like I had that for a little bit, but it like became a crutch at one point where it was like I had to, if I wanted to get going on this new one, I had to stop bringing the old one.
Oh, I get that one. Here we go. At Hilgenta. Good stuff, guys. 8125 PS Stix. Venture 5.2 V Light High with Richta 101 5352. I guess he switches by the wheels, or he keeps the big ones in the back and the
Yeah,
smaller
so
ones in the front.
like a lowrider.
Pepper Grip, Swiss, and Girl 7/8's long neck hardware. So is that so far that's like the hardware of choice, man.
So weird.
After my first 8125 PS Stix, I fell in love and bought a few more. Been really working well for me. Like to find a different hard wheel that I like, but these Richters are actually great, and you can find them cheap because no one else buys them because Richta is the corniest shit ever. But if they work for you, you want the little etched logo in there, and they're cheap, go for it if they work for you. Richta, that's insane.
Buy Tom Masta's wheel.
Does he have a wheel on them?
Would assume he has to. He did for a while.
So hopefully Hilgenta, go out there and get your Tom Astas. PS Stix boards. I've had some I love, and I've had some that I hated.
I rode FA boards for a little while when they first, like when Gino first got on. I was real into them, and though they were good, like I liked them, but I don't know. I skated that Toy Machine Maldonado recently and hated it.
Yeah, I used to get, before COVID, like when I couldn't find a flat board, Toy Machines were my go-to. Toy Machines and spray paint, and I loved them. They were so good, and it's just weird. Like even Scumco, like my friend TJ he lives near Nick, I think, and he would go over and he'd be like, "Oh, this is the board." Once they start doing PS Stix, like this is the flat board this run. This is the flat, So I remember it was Evan Smith had a guest board. My least favorite skater.
Say that had to kill you.
Yeah, it sucked, and it was square. It was shovel nose. But it was so flat, and I bought like 5 of them because I remember I was like, "This is the flat board, flat PS Stix, Scumco," and I bought 5 of them. And like 3 out of the 5 were flat; the other 2 were like higher on the press. But I remember liking them; they just died quick.
Yeah, and like the Toy Machine board, it was just the shape. Like the shape was definitely not for me. Like the short tail, but I mean, it's definitely like they make so many different shapes. Like, it definitely wasn't shaped anything like an FA or whatever it was.
I know you're a shake junk grip guy. Black Diamond, right? Is it Black Diamond? Is that
Black
there?
Onyx.
Black Onyx. But have you tried Pepper yet?
No, that's the one I haven't tried. Like I've tried Mob, I've tried Jessup, but I've had everything over the years, but never had Pepper.
I don't mind it. It has the holes in it, so it's almost like a little grippier than Jessup with holes.
Okay.
Not quite as
you and I
abrasive
were
as
like
Mob.
heavy on that Jessup program for a while.
Yeah, I'm back on it. But I would ride Pepper. The Pepper was fine. I had no problems with it. We know Swiss are the best, and now I'm tempted to. I'm a bronze guy. I'll never ride these girl bolts, but I'm tempted to look at them. There was something to them. I think there was like only threads on like a 1/4 inch of them. But hey, happy that this person found their that they like 8125 PS Stix boards. That's got to be a pain in the ass to find because that's like an elitist size.
Yeah, those are fading out quickly.
Yeah. Brent Esquire, 8.5 crooked Manderson deck, 149 Thunder Lights, 54 millimeter Spitfire, 97 Conicals, Bone Swiss, Pepper Grip, 7/8 girl, Allen bolts again,
Jesus
man.
Jesus Christ, with these girl hardware.
Yeah, this is crazy. Only thing Grailtap's selling. Maybe they should just make a girl bolt / Lakai collab to maybe move some of those crappy shoes. He said it was a 4, but he prefers the steeper decks and more shovel nose like Quasi, but he likes this board. Now, 149s are narrow for an 8.5, right?
No, 149 is the
for Thunders.
Yeah,
or that's got to be because isn't 147 for an 8?
Yeah, sorry, 149 is like an 825 truck.
All right,
they make a 151. That's the 8.5 truck.
Okay, so it's not awful. 54. So, soft wheels, man. All right, but yeah, I mean that's like
depends on what he's skating.
Yeah,
like a 97. It's not like he's like riding like a super soft wheel. It's not
board. All right. Oh no.
The
Trouble.
shoelace choice.
Loving the shoelace choice talk, and Steve on Generator Stock Shape 52 is turning my world upside down. As Dave, as my mind was blown, because it was crazy when I was riding a flight board, which is like usually like that was like the best thing in the universe. And I put it back to ride the Nile Lovett board on the generator wood, which was insane to me. I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. So, little progression on my end. I'm preferring lately the tone on tone, not mixing it up. You've been mixing it up, right? Like you've been,
Yeah, sometimes I switch it up.
yeah.
It's just to have something different, especially if I have like two of the same colorway.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do the second pair with like the alternate lace just to mix it up.
I remember the best one was those all white Tiagos with the gum sole, and Tiago had the black laces in them, and I was like, oh my god, that works so well because the end is black. And I remember doing that, and I was like, yeah, these don't look right with white laces,
Mm-hmm.
and that was one I thought went real well with a different colored lace. All right, here we go. The sloppiest Joseph. Keith Denley's hop decks are super flat, flatter than their team shape. I don't like flat boards, and it was almost unskatable for me, which sucks because I'm a big Keith fan. Maybe something to check out, which I would say it is, but I would only trust that like looking at them in person.
Yeah, because you don't know what wood shop is pressing them.
Yeah, especially at Chapman, and depending when they released them, because if it was like a shortage time or something, like they're just all hands on deck of whatever the heck's getting out of there, just whenever they could get wood. M1 SM4XW, sick rug. I agree.
Oh, shout out now.
Did you get a lot of comments about your rug?
Mostly like from the Instagram post. I didn't really get anything from this,
Mm-hmm.
but hopefully Anthony got some love for it.
At Philly Custom Rugs, right?
Yep.
Yeah, sick. Bearded Dante. Inside wheel graphic is aesthetically pleasing, especially for the Spitfire Classics. Oh, here's another one. Eddie M54. I like flatter boards, but the only board I couldn't skate was an 8375 Palace. The board was super short. Big ass wheelbase and super steep kicks, steeper than any kicks ever, which is crazy. So I have a group chat, and Eddie over here is in it. My friend Steven's in it. This kid Tomic, who lives in the woods, and Benson, the cosplay king.
Yeah.
So we all talk about flat boards, and Benson owed Eddie boards, and he's like, and I was like, because I had a Baker board, and I was like, Eddie, if you want it, I'll send it to you. And Benson was like, oh, I'll send you Eddie's boards, and you can ship everything to him. I owe him boards. So we would always just trade like flat boards or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always something, but it's funny. So I was going through, and Benson's like, hey, I'm sending you a box of boards. Take whatever you want out of there. And there was a 775 Palace in there, and I grabbed it. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'd kick tires at this, And it's crazy. I put it on top of the generator, and the kicks on it, there's the concaves mellow. The kicks on it are so steep. It's crazy. And that's like the 8.3 Palace board is probably short, probably has the shortest nose. So it probably has a 14 and a half wheelbase. And the kicks are just so steep, it's insane. Like I would love to ride those boards, but 775 Palace are perfect flat deck with steep kicks. Poor Eddie. I took the board of his dreams. I'll mail it down to him because I'm never going to ride it. And he's also enjoying the Baker Mellow Concave. The Casper Brooker board I had, the one that I sanded the edges off of, the tail felt short. Otherwise, it was doable. If I sat there and skated, like it was like in the spring and I could skate it, I would have got used to it. Best boards were the DOA 75 flat as fuck with Venture 5.0 low, Spitfire 51s. Also started skating Adidas Samoas, but I'll be back on Superstars soon. Yeah, Eddie loves the Superstars. To each his own.
It's funny. I was out with Kyle Nicholson and Kevin Taylor this weekend, and they were going over both talking about Superstars and how much they like them and what parts of them they like and which ones are this color, the rubber's a little softer, and it's so funny to watch them nerd out over it.
That's really cool because especially someone I don't know Kyle Nicholson personally, but I would think he's the last person. He's probably it's a shoe. But that's really cool to.
Oh yeah, these shoes he was wearing look like he'd been wearing them for 6 months. He's the definition of doesn't give a shit about any of that stuff. But when it works good, he's like, oh yeah, I like that, and then he'll just wear them until they're falling apart.
I always thought the shoes with black rubber gripped better. Um, like if it was like a black shell toe with a black toe, that would grip better than a white one.
Hmm.
Um, just me. I don't know if there's any truth to it, but did they say anything about the insoles? Because they don't still have that weird blue like grippy
No,
insole,
they
right?
talked about that too, and they were both kind of saying they're glad it's gone.
Yeah, that was the worst. Driftless Skater 5475. Man, that feedback part was great. Gets Maldonado and Bam.
Yeah, the Pixies song.
I'll as soon as we're done, I'm gonna watch it because I don't remember any of it. I really don't. Is that bad?
No, I mean, that video's 10+ years old.
Yeah,
You're not
I
going to
should know
remember
that
everything.
though. 904 Watt Millie. Thanks, guys. Keep up the great content. Doomsayers, that's still around? 875. That can't still be around.
Guess it is.
Indy 169s.
That makes sense.
Spitfire F460s. Spitfire bearings. God, that's Shorty's 1-inch Allen. Indy Impact riser pads. Is that? Oh, he had, to each his own, but the Spitfire bearings is killing me. Like, you can get for less money, just get mini logo bearings that are skate rated. Like, you don't want that The wheels are great. Spitfire wheels are like probably the best wheel. Although I do love my Bones, and I would say the Bones I have I like better than Spitfires, but you can't ride Spitfire bearings. God, that's bad.
I mean, everybody gets a whatever bearing and slaps their name on it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like every wheel company has bearings, but you can't. It's the one thing that you can't step to with. That market is cornered. If you're not
Yeah.
riding Swiss as an adult,
I mean, how do you end up at that? Like, they were free. Oh, the shop was out of every other bearing, so I got Spitfire bearings. Like, let them make the wheels. You go to, stick to Skate 1 for bearings.
yeah, I think I would take some Spitfire bearings over some Bronsons, but
I think I would too. The Bronsons I had were so shitty. They just squeaked the whole time. They were terrible. Yeah, I would do the same. Doomsayers. God, I can't believe that's around.
yeah, I love all this politic. It's a lot of politic boards on here.
Let's see. Yeah, we got user wedgie squishy. Is that what they're trying to say? Great episode, guys. 825 Politic, Thunder 148 hollows with Bones medium bushings, and I sliced the stock pivot cups to loosen them up. Modification, I love that. Spitfire F4 Classics 52, Bones Swiss bearings, Braun 78 Allen hardware, only use 6 of them, and pepper grip.
It's a valid setup. I couldn't
Thumb
ride
up,
Thunders,
thumbs up.
but aside from that,
Yeah, Mitch, this is like, could be a Mitch setup. But you do 8 bolts, right?
yeah, I use all the bolts.
Yeah. I remember like mid-90s, it was like there was dudes like Kareem and them like using 4 bolts. It was like 2 and 2.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it makes your board lighter.
Yeah. Oh, it's easier to unhook them when I have to set up a new board because I get them so often.
Yeah.
But that's
The
cool if
people
that's
that
something
would-
you want to look at.
The people that would grip over their bolts, like put the trucks on
Stevie.
first and then grip.
Stevie did that. It was so crazy. I remember seeing that in person. I was like, what? How does he even... It looks clean. And I was like, I guess. So
Yeah,
weird.
like I definitely use the bolts for like foot placement.
Yeah. That's wild. Maybe next board, Mitch, I'm doing a bolt under the grip. Josh Henry 2446, Theories 838, Thunder, Raw, OJ, Double Duro 54 wheels, Bronson oh god, 7/8 independent hardware. Is this like a prank?
It's an NHS commercial.
Oh, as I said, a very just coincidence. That's crazy. Theories 838. So I'm going to assume that's Clutchwood. Thunder Raws, Mitch's favorite trucks. OJ Double Duro 54, Bronson bearings, and independent hardware. So weird. So weird. So where do you
but
think this dude's from?
They push that indie hardware stuff I know a lot of stores carry it because it's got like the full replacement sets. Like they make a replacement everything.
I'm going to say Midwest. What are you saying? I'm saying Ohio.
I can see that. I could also
Yeah.
see it. Well, yeah, because theories, so probably not West Coast.
Los Fakey. 8.3 DOA boards were good. I'm glad I was able to skate a couple of those.
I know. I'm excited because Politics is going to have boards in this week. So I'm like excited to try and skate a South Central board again just to try something different. I love the DOA boards. So
See, it's so funny. So funny. Because like I said, like those were my kryptonite.
yeah, I mean, I rode them for what, 3 years straight?
Yeah. Yeah, you did. Jose Z. Los Fakey. So it's funny. Story about this dude. I remember I was skating at Reggaeton Ledges. And he posts on here. It's Lorenzo Johnson. You've seen him post.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah,
likes to call us out whenever we're wrong. Mississippi Joe. And but he went up to me and he was like, "You should sponsor this dude." The dude Los Fakey, Jose, and he's like, that's the only real skater from New York. He was like, yeah, he's the only skater from Queens.
Oh, because nobody else is like from New
Yeah,
York.
it was kind of, and I was like, and he was really good too. And just, I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. And I never did. I reached out later, like, I kind of wish I gave you boards. Really good skater. I'm happy he enjoyed his 8.3 DOA boards, which I think had the best shape. I was just talking to my friend Lorenzo about that. He loved the shape. He was like, I wish every South Central board had the same shape as his 8.3 because he gets the 8.3 Politics. Love Muse 2288. Waxing the pivot cup to get rid of creaking on new trucks. Do you do anything like that, Mitch?
My trucks are so goddamn loud; it's driving me crazy. But
With the squeaking?
yeah, like I've heard, like you put dish soap in there.
Have you? So you've tried stuff and it just doesn't work?
I haven't tried it. I mean, I've heard these things to try. I just don't feel like taking my trucks apart again.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. That's like a whole process. So what do we got here? Quasi 825. Generally special Gilby because his shape is less shovel nose. Are you up on your Quasi? Is that a thing? His boards usually aren't. I know there's some Dick Rizzos that are, some Dick Rizzos that aren't.
Yeah, I mean that's cool if his like at least you know what to look for. Like, oh, I'll skate the Gilbert board this season because it's not a shovel to some of the other ones.
I had a Dick Rizzo board I bought, and I was like, this looks so sick, I want to ride it. And the shape was, I just couldn't do it. The nose was super steep, and the tail was really flat, and I unhooked it and gave it away. All right, so Quasi 825, Thunder 148, Spitfire 52 conical, Jessup, Bone Swiss 7/8 bronze. Oh, look at this! I'd buy a T. That might happen, Mitch. I might twist our arms and get a few made up.
I'm all about
it's a possibility. But yeah, so that's a very normal setup, I would say. Bone Swiss. I like seeing these people with the Bone Swiss because I was always, gun shy of pulling the trigger with bearings that expensive. So I give everybody credit. I was a Reds guy.
I don't know. Once I started like working at skate shops and stuff, and I could, I got like a discount or whatever. I just always rode Swiss.
Yeah,
it was like I could buy one set and they'd last a year or more.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say Mikey gave me a set. When was that contest? Was that July? That
May.
I went down with. So I've had my Swiss since then, and they're still like really good. All right, 20. 8.5 prime blank with yellow bottom ply. I spray painted black for a nice contrast. Inspired by a Cardiel photo. Venture 6.1s, 53 Spitfire, 97A. Bronson Raws, Jessup grip tape, and a mix of different hardware. Prime blanks intrigue me, but I don't think the prime blanks that they sell would be the ones I would like. So I wouldn't even, I don't think it's from the old mold.
Right, they're just new ones that they're making.
Yeah, I think the kicks would be too steep for what I'd want. I mean, the setup seems very standard, right? For the
yeah, it's like your typical Slappy guide setup, which is cool. The wider ventures, it's still 53s.
Matches the trucks match the width of the board. Very normal. Drunit 8122. I'm all about the A6 Gel Flex Key Pro black birch shoes. Effing awesome. Mitch, you didn't get a chance to try those, right?
The Flex Keys? No, I haven't had those.
Yeah. So they're crazy looking, but they skated well. Like I expected them to like skate like shit, And I was like, no, these actually skate really well. The soles gripped really well. They flicked well. Um, Again, I had to get half a size up, but not my thing to look at. But they did work, and if you wanted an indestructible shoe, like that's your shoe, and they really did. They did skate really well. Um,
Yeah, all those like
so
ripples along the edge of the sole weirded me out. But you said you didn't
yeah,
really notice it.
no, it didn't. It didn't skate. I told Rob like because he sent me like some crazy looking pair, like
Mm, the
they
black and
were
purple
Auto
ones.
Cola. I don't know what they were. Like I don't think it was even a skate shoe. I think it was like one of the regular lines, but they just put the
Mm.
shoe out in it. But I was like, this shoe in suede, like lose the rubber toe and make it suede and like black out the soles or something so you don't see where it separates. And I was like, this could be like a home run because the laces are offset, they don't rip. They did something with the lace flap. I'm not a fan of that. I just folded it in when I had them.
Okay.
But I was like, this is like a really functional shoe, and I think they could do it like make it suede and like I don't know. I think they'd have a home run on their hands right there. But that's just me. Same dude, Drew at 8122. Heroin seeing double shovel 9.5. That's when you start running into like how do you even get grip tape, you know? Um,
Yeah, you're piecing it
Indy
together.
Titan forged 169. What's an Indy Titan?
I think it means titanium.
Okay. 52 millimeter drives, crazy, huge board, little wheels, little soft wheels. Indy hardware, gross. Bones hard bushings. Use the bottom for both top and bottom for extra stiffness for us fat guys. So he's got to buy two sets
Yeah.
or like double, right? Because he's using two bottoms.
Yeah. So he's buying 20 something dollars for the bushings.
Bushings. Bones super reds.
But I guess if he's
Bones
getting
super reds are
titanium trucks that are $100 or a set.
damn. This guy's got a good job, man. He's got the $150 Asics. You know what were the flex keys like 140?
Yeah.
Yeah, this dude's balling, man. He's driving to the spot in his Mercedes.
But that's a nice part about
Super,
the curb setups is they're probably only buying one a year.
yeah.
It's not like they're
Trucks,
like
right? You're going to go through
breaking
trucks.
boards.
Super Red, again, though, I'm just going to praise the Super Reds because they're really good mob grip, which makes sense for your curb. You're gripped, you're locked onto your board, you smash into it. Yeah, so he wins the award for like most balling price setup. That's pretty crazy. Do those 9.5-inch boards cost more?
I have no idea.
Oh, he's
And
going.
he's
He's going to
also
beat
got
Duplinski
another
too.
flight setup.
Here he is. I have same dude. I have an Andy Anderson Heron Egg 875 flight deck, but even that seems too skinny for me, so I upgraded to the double shovel 9.5. The flight decks are crazy light and flexy. Yeah, yeah. He edited it and changed it to flight. Okay, cool. And then I think a few come in both flight and 7-ply. The one I have is a second board, the Heron Egg 875, double skulls on the bottom. Awesome feeling board, but just a tad too skinny for me. 9.5 Heroin doubles shovel is a beast. I have a 9.25 Swampy Egg coming today. Maybe that'll be a happy me. This is all my little mind is blown, Mitch, with these big boards. But I hope this guy finds what he's looking for. It's probably fun though. You know what I mean? Like you have all these options, all these different boards.
Yeah, like heroin is not my thing. Like I don't like that company is not something I'm drawn to, but at the same time, like I think it's cool. Like they definitely have their thing that they're going for, and Foss's art's cool, and like he's always doing weird, interesting stuff with it. So I back it for
Yeah,
sure.
totally. I think it's cool they're still going.
Yeah,
Like they've been around for a minute, and this is like now it's like kind of like they're hitting their thing. It seems like, which is
yeah,
really
they're
cool.
crushing it. Like I feel like I see posts every week of like, oh, we got these new ones in. Like they're constantly making new shapes and
Yeah, and that's got to be fun for him too. A dude like that seems like he's into making all these weird shapes that he would want to skate, and all these like that one that takes like four sets of four trucks or whatever.
yeah.
Like it's gotta be fun for him to put that out there. Like, yeah, I made this. You know?
And people bought it.
Yeah. And in Arcadii, whatever. Currently riding a primitive 8.3 by 31, 8.375 by 31, 8.75, 14.18 wheelbase. Thunder 148 titaniums with stock bushings. People seem to be dropping money on these titaniums, right? Like we've heard of a couple sets of these now.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't
Formula
know if the
4.
Thunder titaniums are up there like the Indy ones are, but they're pricey.
Yeah. I remember I think there was a 5.2 Venture Low titanium P-Rod truck, and I really wish I got those. Bone Swiss 6, Shorty 7/8 Mob Grip. I'm not a fan of primitive, but I love the shape and mellowness of the board, although I still park my car in the tail to flatten it out. My man, that's the way to do it. Run the car over the boards, leave it under for a couple hours. I swear by it. Yeah, I've ridden many. I feel your pain, dude. I've ridden many a bad graphic board just to get the right wood. Give him a thumbs up. There we go. But yeah, what's your take on this one, Mitch?
I mean, I don't hate it because it's just a bareback board. You know, the titanium trucks are cool if that's what works for you. They're lighter, stronger. 53 classics, Swiss. I mean, everything there checks out.
Yeah,
I mean, I could ride it. Like
that's so
ideally,
crazy.
it's that thunder turning that like weirds me out, but it obviously works for plenty of people.
I thought it was fun for a little bit, and then I couldn't. The sliding killed me. Dylan Lewis 3668. Foundations have nice mellow shapes, in my opinion, and passports are pretty good. See, the foundations are PS and the passports are generator. Yeah, I had a passport once and I hated it. It's just like now I might like it. Like, oh, the mellow generator, I might be good with that, and just leaving it under the car. That's like huge, is the leaving it under the car. But yeah, I would like to see the shop by me. They don't even get foundations in anymore, so I can't even look at them. But they used to get them in, and that's when I was like, whoa, these things are mellow. Raphael Cintron 4917, who is the best. He did send me out those independent lows, and I owe him for it. I asked for a list of everything he uses, and like currently I have nothing that he would use. So I got to work my magic and get him something that I can, repay him with. Which
Send me
I'm working
his
on.
email. I'll send him some dead air stickers. I'm sure he'd want those.
Oh, awesome. And he's riding an 825 deck, Venture 5.6 high with stock bushings, 52 Formula 4 Classics, Swiss bearings, 7.8 shorty Silverados. Alan, of course, thank God. And I appreciate the trucks. Like, seriously, that was like one of the coolest things. Like, that's one of the most awesome things since doing this pod, is that I was sent a pair of low Indies that I ended up being so hyped for, and then like these didn't work. But I do want to set them up on a generator. It's like the board, that deck I like, and see if it goes any different. But yeah, it's awesome. Swiss bearings, great. 52s, awesome. See, it's the Venture highs. I mean, what are you on? You're still on your Indies, Mitch?
Yeah.
But you do 5.6 on an 8.25, right? Like this is basically you could
I
ride
do
this setup
5.8.
too. Oh, you go 5.8 on 8.25?
Mm-hmm.
Which you can. I know the Venture sizing's weird.
But I mean, I just like the slightly wider truck. Like even on the Indies, I should be on a 144, but I'm on a 149.
Is that for grind clearance?
It feels more stable.
Mm-hmm. No, I get that. When I used to ride 8.3, see, I was always hoverboarding, and it felt nice having a wider truck. Like if I could never find them, but I know like riding when I go up size in truck just to like a normal truck it felt nice. Gun plus skate on my Greco ride, size 8 on some 149s. 8 should be 139s, right?
Yeah.
Unless if
He's
it's
riding an
Indy.
8.5 truck on an 8-inch board.
Yeah.
But he also bought those god awful Greco knockoff Stan Smiths that I was talking shit to him today.
I think it's sick. He bought them. This dude loves shoes. Like I got to ask him about those actually to see like how shitty are they. You know
He
what
was
I mean?
like,
Like
"These are
just
so
Jim
cool," and I
Greco.
was like, "Yeah, they were cool when Stan Smith made them in 1965 and didn't put
So
a
funny.
hammer on the side."
And then Randoa 2769 above him, 8-inch Baker, 149 Thunders, 52 Formula 4s.
Yeah, so those Thunders are a little big for that.
Yeah. And then he says they do stick out on the side. But yeah, Thunders are like the lowest of the regular trucks. Yeah, 147s on an 8 is like perfect. And 52 millimeter wheels seems like pretty normal. Here we go, Mitch. Joey Sullivan 5335, 8.88 creature deck, mob grip,
Wow.
Indy 169 forged titanium, loophole 56 millimeter wheels, rush titanium bearings. The fuck is that? And mixed 1-inch Phillip hardware. Oh boy. Loophole wheels. Hopefully his Rush titanium bearings actually fit in the wheels. Have you ever heard of Rush bearings? Is that Canadian or something? What the hell is that?
I don't know. I don't know that one.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I didn't see any quantum bearings on this.
Well, we're only halfway done, Mitch. So, and he rides no risers. Wow.
56s, you could get away with it.
Here we go. Swatch watchable. Birch Guru Khalsa 825. Thunder Titaniums 149. Satori 52. Modus bearings. I had a Birch board, and it was super flat. It was PS, and it was super flat. I loved it.
I'm glad
Um,
you knew that was even a company because I have no idea what the hell that is.
yeah, it's Guru Khalsa's company out of Texas.
Oh,
He says it's still around. I didn't know it was still around. Oh yeah, Wake Robin. Did you ever hear of Wake Robins, Mitch? That was their like videos they'd make, but it was like Guru Khalsa after Habitat.
oh okay.
Um, oh, they're using Control now. If they are, ugh.
Well, I broke so many of those boards.
But it's cool. He has a Gunis Satori wheel. Gunis is awesome. Gunis Agdazan. He's the best. But Modus bearings. I don't know, man. Just, just stick with. Like, I feel like that stuff's so important. Like, just get good bearings. Good bearings, good wheels.
Yeah, there's certain things I just can't skimp on anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It looks like this dude spent all of his money on the trucks. Um, but yeah, the board you can do what you got to do, but you gotta having good wheels and good bearings is like so important. Driftless Skater 5475. I have 2 board setups. His street/tech board, 825 Girl Salmon Bannero G052 shape. I think that's cool because then I can just get his G052 and I'm going to like it. I think that's cool they do that as long as it's consistent on their end.
Hmm.
I think that's great. Indy mid 144s. Mitch, you had the Indy mids?
Yeah.
And what was your take? They sucked? They loosened up?
No, it's not terrible. I wasn't a fan of the inverted kingpin, so
Yeah.
I just wound up going with the standard Indy. I tried it for like a month and I just wasn't loving it, so I just went to the standard. Plus, it'd be my luck. I would wind up like really liking them and then not be able to get them again.
Yeah, that
So
would happen to me.
once I heard they were cut, I just wasn't going to put myself through that.
Man. I was tempted, but they were never low enough for me, so I was like, I don't need these. There's no point. But I feel like kick tires. Like I want to try them. So Spitfire Formula 4 5299. Luis Lopez. He used his full name. Bone Swiss Big Balls. There we go. Good job. Ace 7/8 hollow hardware. Does that mean they're hollow straight through?
Yeah,
Like
I feel like I've seen that. Like to make them lighter or whatever.
that's insane.
Yeah, like how
Pepper
much
grip.
weight are you really saving
I don't
hollowing
know.
out your hardware?
Or is that going to make it weaker? Like, and he has a transition board, Opera Executioner. Oh boy, that's like one of the brands I think just shouldn't exist. If this gentleman likes this board, I apologize, but I think there's no need for opera. Indy Standard 159. Spitfire Formula 4 Radial Full 5497A. Bone Swiss Big Balls. He has risers, so he has a 1-inch hardware and pepper grip. But this is sick. He was riding a metal board. Fred Gall. How cool is that?
Yeah.
He wants to get more of those, which is sick. You should. Metal's awesome.
Yeah, I love those.
Shout at the devil. Yeah. It's all I think of whenever I think of it. So awesome. My current shoes,
so
the
many
S.
good
Oh
people
boy.
there.
Well, Mitch, he has a Wade S collab shoe. So is that almost plausible? Like,
Yeah, you know what? If they're not going to give people shoes, at least they're giving them colorways that'll get them paid.
yeah. So I mean, Wade's sick. I can't, as much as I want to knock S. Like, as long as you're giving it at least to one of those dudes, those three, TJ, Tom, or Wade, I got no problem with it. Those guys should get money. They're good skaters. At Benjamin Schweizer 8764, Bros New Balance 440 got the V. Oh, he's correcting us, I guess. That was our
we
little.
corrected ourselves in the middle of it.
Yeah. That was it.
That's where it gets complicated when your shoes are all just numbers instead of names.
Like Circa. They didn't learn from Circa.
Like, I'm a little dyslexic. I can't keep these numbers straight.
Daniel Hockersmith 5235. Love your opinions, never change.
Judge my
setup.
Is this
Mitch,
like
he
a
asked for
rape
it.
my dick?
Judge my setup. All right. BBS 8 or 8125 by 14 wheelbase by 31.5 to 31.75 length. Overall board length more important than wheelbase, which is, what do you think of that one?
I mean, if a board is too long, I'll hate it no matter what the wheelbase is. Like, I'll never forget when Andrew Cannon first went pro for World, his 825 board was like a 32 and a half. And I was like, this makes no sense whatsoever.
Wow. Andrew Cannon, pro for World.
I'm just use that as an example of, like, I remember looking at it and being like, what the hell is
Well,
this?
what's funny to me is it's not a shocking. It's like, oh, it's Andrew Cannon in World. Like, I'm surprised. It's like a snowboard. But yeah, when these boards get overly long, so I guess that makes sense. Frog, Primitive, AWS, FA Hockey, brand doesn't matter as long as the dimension shape is good and the graphic isn't heinous. But Frog's in there.
Yeah.
Tape and Primitive even sometimes too. Some of those are a little crazy. Tapered kicks preferred over shovel style nose, similar length nose and tail, but not twin.
Do they make FA boards that aren't shovel nose?
I don't know. I haven't been able to see that many of them, to be honest with you. Like, a lot of the shops out here were slacking, and Theo's shop had them, but he only had one or two, and he had shovel nose.
I haven't looked at any in a while, but originally they were definitely all that super shovel shape.
Yeah, I would be down with a Gino non-shovel nose 8-inch board. That probably would never exist. Venture V Hollow 5.2 high. Stock bushings, medium loose with 2 washers on the inside and 1 on the outside. I could see that. He wants more grind clearance. That makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. To push it out.
Yeah. I used to do that because I used to ride 8.3 and I'd get 5.2 lows and I would try and put like 3 or 4 washers on the inside just to push my wheels out as much as I could.
Yeah, I remember
it didn't really work. My axle nuts would just fall off because the nylon wouldn't meet it. Tried the lows and they were cool, but the extra wheel bite wasn't worth the cool points, so I switched back to the highs. I just crank them super tight. Problem solved. It's a rough life as a venture skater because I always have to bring a wrench for the bolt because the normal tool doesn't fit. Facts. And then, so Mitch, are you enjoying that? I was having fun setting up the Indy lows because I could use the skate tool easily.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't think the 5.8 has that problem.
I know the tool, like, I have to put it in at an angle, but I can get it to work.
Yeah, I don't really have to fight with it. I think the 5.8, the way the hanger sits, is it clears.
Yeah. But it is one of those little weird things.
But it
It
is
would be cool if
annoying as
Venture
shit.
made a skate tool, like an offset skate tool for their truck.
Yeah.
There you go, Venture. If you hear that, cut me in. Send me some
I'm
trucks
reading
for that
the
one.
next
Thank you.
part.
Spitfire F4 52 Classics graphics inward. Duh. Tried conicals and they were cool, but the classics are just the best. Oh god, the classics are like they flat spot. I don't even do anything and they flat spot.
No, but he's saying Formula 4, just the classic shape.
Oh, I'm an idiot, Mitch. Oh, he's trying to. Okay, the shapes. He likes the classic shapes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I write
I
too.
like the classic ones too. If I'm gonna go with that, although I'm Bones V1 52s right now, or I think I'm set on those for a long time. Tried other brands, OJ, SML, Satori, Dial Tone, and those are cool. Spitfire is the best. I never skate Bones, LOL. A lot of people don't think Bones are cool, like Bones are lame, but the wheels are sick.
Yeah, like we said before, like the product is good. It's just the marketing is
Marketing is god awful. So
leaves a
I
lot
get
to.
people, but that's one of those things. It's like you can sand the graphics off and you're good to go. Like, it's probably Mitch. It's probably because you like the wheels you ride. You want the graphics out. Like, I'm riding Bones. Like, I definitely gotta put those in so nobody has to
You don't
look
want
at
to
them.
see that in footage.
Yeah. Bearings are currently a mixed match of various Bones, Reds, regular Swiss, and Swiss 6. Gonna try some SKFs this spring. Stoked to try them. Is that what Cater's on?
Maybe I think so. Like Nakel.
Yeah, I just can't see them being good. Just stick with your miscellaneous, mishmash of bearings is probably better than SKF's. Fran shields and shieldless, and I find the bearings will seize up either way, and we'll always have to clean them. So I just keep the shields on because they don't seize up quite as quickly. I still have shields on all mine. Bronze 56K hardware 7/8. Oh, we were doing pretty good here. Phillips.
Oh,
And the 3 bolts he does, that's fine if that's what he's into. Jessup grip as always. Phillips. You had me here. Daniel Hockersmith 5235. Phillips. You don't need Phillips.
I loved when Bronze made those shirts where you had to choose a side.
Yeah. So funny.
Like I hope he printed like 4 Phillips. Yes.
I guess it's Sponge, 5 Ponji. Sponge. 825 Quasi Rizzo, 7/8 bronze hardware. Bronze bolt always covering the ollie flip flicking position. So he puts it in the back?
I would say it's in the back truck.
Interesting. Jessup grip and hand-me-down 44 ace lows. And some grimy Bones Swiss bearings from the man himself. Oh, okay, that's me. I believe I did send him my ace lows.
When he said the man himself, I'm like, Burn?
Yeah. No, I think it's me.
Yeah, thanks again, Steve.
Yeah. Yeah, friend of Ralph's. Any friend of Ralph's is a friend of mine.
Of course.
Yeah. Ralph is the best. But yeah, a quasi Dick Rizzo board sounds awesome on paper to me. Like, I would love to ride that.
Yeah, support that dude.
What's with all the Costin hate? So, Mitch, I feel bad if you ever get lumped in whenever I say stuff like this, but it's just funny. I give the guy a reason, and he says, I don't know if I can enjoy skating with an outlook like that. Like, I don't know what to tell you. If you can go out there and love everything you see, and that's great. I don't know.
Yeah, we've said it so many times. Like, we like what we like, you like what you like, and it doesn't matter. It's just our opinions. Like,
Yeah, that's
I
it.
think Costin's great. Costin's entertaining. Watching him skate in person is unbelievable. Like, especially, like, he's got to be late 40s and still doing wild shit. So,
I like his footage a lot more now that he's a little more human. Like, I can enjoy it. Like, I'd want to see a Costin part now. I think it'd be cool. But yeah.
So,
but I mean,
what did you like the chomp part? That was like his like just dork tricks.
No, because he looked like a jock then, like with the sweatbands and stuff.
Okay.
Like that era of Costin. Like, I think that's what it's like. I just always knew he was going to be good, but then he was like in that weird like basketball jock mode, and I just didn't. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of it.
I got you.
He's super good. I mean, I used to not like Mike Carroll, and now I can like appreciate Mike Carroll footage now. So never want to say never, but yeah, Costin was just one I'm never into. You know, I'd rather watch Lath Sammy any day.
Yeah.
And he's riding, but this guy Jagger, 825 limo, Jets of Grip, Thunder 149s, 53 millimeter Spitfire lock-ins, Bronson G3s, and Shorty's hardware. Goddamn Bronsons. So weird. Like, don't Bronson people hit up Vern, like, asking for Swiss for free because they ride for Bronson and they don't like them? Like,
those stories are out there.
Yeah, there's. So I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, nobody. Don't waste your money on that Bronson crap.
You're getting a check from Ondelay and then trading them in at the shop to take bones. You think people don't know about that?
Yeah, the bones bearings are just the best bearings for a reason. David Lee Ashkenazi 8992. Still have the Stage 9 Costin Lowe's gold base plate black hanger with Costin in gold. That's pretty sick that you still have them. Like on ice, or I just remember when I had the Costin trucks, I scratched his name off. First thing. Hi from the future. Dead Air Radio's refreshing. Currently riding a Hops Jamal Williams 8.5 with a redrilled wheelbase. That's 14.12. Niall Lovett redrills his wheelbases, and he does both sides. Did you know that, Mitch?
I did not.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So we're going to have to definitely get him.
Nerd out with him.
Yeah, he does nose and tail. Wild. Venture 5/8 with a stock top bushing and a loose green bottom bushing. Pepper Grip, 53 Spitfire Classic 97s. Bronze. Oh, God. Hardy's 7/8. This is crazy. Next board is going to be a Terra 838, which is awesome.
I mean, I don't knock the Hardy's hardware. It's still 7/8.
Yeah. We don't know if it's Phillips or not. Bronson. So crazy to me. All right. Kimron, but yeah, that's... Anyway, I'll go back here, but that's sick. Get that Terra
It's funny,
board.
the stock top bushing and then the loose green bottom bushing. I thought the whole thing with those loose truck kits is that they weren't
top bushing, right?
Softer. It's just that the top bushing was smaller.
Yeah, but that green bushing looks cool, so that's probably... What do the 5/8s have? Purple?
No, because like the Ted Barrow 5/8s that I had the green bushings.
Oh, I had the green. Okay.
Yeah,
those are cool.
Whatever truck had the green bushings that season is the one I would buy.
I'm kind of happy, Mitch, because those Ted Barrow trucks were so sick. I would have loved to have had that on a low. You know, even though you grind the little logo off, like those are so cool. And I'm kind of hyped that I was able to get that Jameer on a low. Like, cool. This is actually cool and a low. Like, because that never happens. Like, it's like a P-Rod low or something. Lows. He does?
I think so. I could be wrong.
It looks like he rides big wheels.
I think he does. I think he rides a bigger wheel, but a low truck. Wow,
he must crank. It must be tight.
I could be wrong. This is I haven't looked at his setup in a while. Kimron
7208. 825 chocolate G50 52. That's what the other dude had, I believe.
Yeah, he had a G something, but I don't know if that's the same one.
I'm gonna look quick, and if I don't find it, I don't find it. But oh wait, there it was. Simon G052.
52.
Yeah. All right, so that's like the hot shape now. All right, so we had G052, 14-inch wheelbase, 685 shovel nose. Oh, so it's a shovel nose. Mellow kicks and concave. See, I don't think those kicks are mellow. I think they're you get a lot of fingers of flat, but they shoot up steeper than I'd like. Thunder Team 148, Spitfire 52 conicals. He's from Finland. Super Swiss, good job. 1-inch Allen and always mob. It's funny, he switched from the Ventures 5.6 to Thunders to go lower, and he lost nollie frontside nose slides. Interesting. It's funny how that stuff works, because there's probably tricks I could do better on one set of trucks than another.
Well, like you said, the way that Thunder sits is different for nose and tail slides.
Yeah. Yep. I can thank Matt Wilson for totally fucking my brain up on that one. He pointed out, and I was like, holy shit, it makes sense. And it's like, yeah, because you're sliding wheels, not base plate. Omar 9904 ARG. Definitely a woodshop snob. Generator BBS is usually all I'll buy.
Forgot about Dark Star. I wish we could.
Yeah. Dark Star. Kai doesn't wish we forgot about Dark Star. I'll always have this here. Thank you, Kai Reeler. All right. 825 Violet. 56 Venture Hollow Lights. 56 Spitfire OG shape. Come on. And Omar, I love Omar. Omar sends me stickers. Omar sent me grip tape before. He has his grip tape brand, 9904. Don't ride these Bronsons. I'm gonna send you a set of mini logo bearings.
So wait,
and those are
Mason.
better.
So is it
No.
Miles Silva's or Mason Silva?
Yeah, that's funny. Either way, we don't want those bearings. Like Omar,
Yeah,
I
we
got
don't.
you on a
Yeah,
pack of
if
mini
you're
logo.
making pro bearings, it's packaging. It's not
Yeah.
anything.
It's fluff. And Alan Hart, I'm going to send him a set of 1 inch
No, it's
Allen.
on Allen.
He's good. It's late.
We've read too many setups at this point. You're
Yeah,
losing it.
my brain's fried. ULPSB 8-inch board, always switching. Once still on Ace Air Force One lows with the Ace low hard bushings, which I think makes sense because that turning radius on those is crazy. So anything to kind of slow it down makes a lot of sense. F450 conical Spitfire Little Smokies, or 52 millimeter bones X99s, which that I agree with. I wish they made them in 51 or something. Mini logo bearings if I'm cheap, or the bones bigger balls. Awesome, good skate one bearings. Curb board, use the Indy Stage 4s and 5290 X99s, 8 1/4, 8 1/2. Curb board.
Oh, so the Indy Stage 4s is the
Is that the Ace knockoff?
truck.
Like that's what Ace ripped off, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That took them 10 years for Indy to make them again, which is funny. All right. Mark Foster 3764, Polar 9-inch, Indy 169, Formula 4 56 101. I think it's awesome he's riding 101s. And the goddamn Bronsons again. Jesus. This is crazy. Like it's because I just know it's a shittier bearing, you know? That it's even like half of these people are riding these. Furnish. But I do back the 101A Formula 4s. I back that so hard. Those are so much fun.
Can't do it.
Slide all over the place. We used to call them cheaters because you could like power slide like without even rolling. Funish. 5-borough 825. Ace Theories Collab Hollow Air Force 144s. 53 Formula 4 conical full. Is that what a CF would be? Swiss. Ace 7/8 Allen. Awesome. Haven't skated a normal South Central before. Wish it was a little mellower. Yeah, they're steep as fuck. I am not a fan of stock South Central boards, says the guy who ran a brand through them for numerous years. I couldn't. Mitch, the stock South Central boards, I wouldn't touch those with.
Hey, they're not for everybody, but I love them.
Fuck, those are like my worst nightmare. Those things. Mr. Eric Nicholas, kind of weird setup. 8.5 local brand board, whatever that is. Thunder 149 with riser pads, 56 millimeter, 99 F4 Spitfires and bones bearings. I don't think that's weird.
Yeah, I think that's totally acceptable.
Yeah, maybe the trucks are a little narrow. Is that? I mean, but he has riser pads to make up for the height of the wheels. This sounds, for a large board, totally on point.
Ideally for an 8.5, you should be on 151s, but
wooden skateboard, aluminum trucks, urethane wheels. I said, at least you don't have thieves trucks, right? Because what are the thief trucks? Aren't they like some weird metal?
yeah, I don't even remember. They had titanium ones, right?
Yeah,
the tie lights.
God, aluminum, what a fucking idiot. It sucks. I'm currently on an old stock Enjoy 8. Wanted to try their R7 decks and impressed with the longevity. Well, I'm sure they last long. I think they're like well-made boards. But I don't think I'll ever get another DSM deck if the kicks are so steep, which I agree with. I never understood why they didn't offer like a medium. You know what's funny? The Madness boards had mellow kicks, but they were all shaped boards. or had the stupid
See?
wheel
So maybe
wells.
you should be on an opera board.
No, don't, Mitch, don't do this to me. You know, it's funny. I say that's like the worst brand out. I will say that is worse. You could like give me brands, and Opera is worse than like everything. I think it's the most pointless brand. But watch, they will have that medium kick, 8-inch board, medium kick, mellow
I don't know if they
concave.
make an 8-inch board.
But it'll happen, and I'll be like, oh great, I have to ride a fucking Opera board. But yeah, I didn't like how those boards, like the Fingers of Flats are cool. It's like the Palace boards, and then they just shoot up too high. I have to ride it with the nose as a tail because it pops easier. Otherwise, my flip tricks cost way too much effort. Mitch, this is, I don't know if I ever told you this, but like if I had a board that like I couldn't kickflip on, I can flip it over and kickflip off the nose. Even if the nose is super steep, I can do it. It's really weird, but I have this weird thing where I can kickflip off the nose of boards, and I try and not do it. Fakie flips I have to do off the nose too.
Yeah,
Really
I can't
weird.
say, like, I skate fakie off the nose for pretty much everything.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But even like switch, like sometimes it depends on the trick. Like I'll do switch off the nose.
Yep, I do.
Sometimes it's switch off the tail, depending on the trick.
Wow. Yeah, I do switch off the nose for everything. Switch. Interesting. I'm learning so much tonight, Mitch. It's been on Thunder 147 for the last 2 years with rare spins on the new Royals, which Matt Wilson swears by those. Loophole wheels that are worn down to 48. Best X I've had over the last year was an 8-inch Scumco PS Stix and a 7.9 DGK. Super nice and mellow. I mean, if you can get lucky with the DGK wherever they're pressed, and some of the PS Stix Scumco boards can be mellower. Now I got a Glue 8, which is the same shape as the Scumco, and 2 Magenta 7/8s that are okay, but with a steeper nose. So to this dude here, too, I'm going to say, take that Magenta and put it upside down and park a car over it, and you're good to go. I did that with one. That'll help mellow it out. It's like a life. I swear it's the best thing to do for any of these boards. Neen Williams, whatever you may think of him and his skating, but he nailed it with that one. Leftover Mike, good dude. Venture lows with gold base plates are nice putts. Yeah, I'm just super happy I have something cool that I can ride. So again, Mitch, I thank you for that. Michael D 1383 skating a Roger 838 and have 2 Sour Solutions decks with the same shape on ice. Mitch, did you ever get a Sour board?
No, that's too flat for me.
HLCs are the best, and yeah, I think Roger's HLC also. HLC also presses boards for Skate Mafia and Most Interest to You Plan B. Oh, there we go. Someone who knows us very well, Mitch. Pat Duffy could be yours, paired with Thunder Team 149 and 52s. Gotta love this. But that would be it. I'd be on my Pat Duffy Warriors board and loving it. I do love HLC boards. I think they offer different concaves too. I know the Sour boards have all different molds. Like if you look it up, they have like there's like 4 different shapes or something like that with different concaves. They have a mellow concave. All right, and we're at the end right now. Roland Burnell 17826 or 7826, 8-inch Visit skateboard, 5.2 Venture Low lights, 7/8 Shake Junt hardware, 52 Spitfire, Formula 4, Bones Swiss Jessup grip. I guess that's cool, right?
Yeah, that all makes sense. Visit
Yeah.
boards or generator or BBS.
Yes, this is
whatever.
basically this is what I'm riding right now, minus the hardware. I have bronze hardware, but
Yeah,
yeah, that's my setup right now.
that's funny.
Yeah, right? Pretty crazy. I'd love to have maybe 51. I'd be happier knowing my wheel was a 51, but
Yeah, you skate it for a month and it'll be a 51.
yeah, totally. All right, well, I'm
You
thanking
want to
everybody
crunch
for
some numbers real quick?
Yes, that's what I was gonna say thanks, and then yes, definitely Mitch, you did your homework on this one.
So, what do you think was the most popular truck? Looking through these,
I'm gonna say, oh my gosh, we're at an hour 25 minutes. I'm gonna say Indy, which I know I'm wrong.
So the highest one was Thunder at 13.
Wow,
11 Indies, 9 Ventures, and 4 Ace.
and that's it.
But
And that
that's
was
it. Nothing else. No like Slappy or whatever else is out there.
wow. All right, that's interesting.
No Grind Kings.
No, darn.
And then crushing the wheel game, Spitfire
Spitfire.
at 22, and then everything else only had one. So Dragon, those Powell Nano Cubics, Satori, Loophole, OJ, Richta, and Croupier. Each one got mentioned once. I feel
No
like
bones.
Loophole might have gotten mentioned twice as we were going through it. I think I saw a second one.
Bones was only once.
Bones never even got mentioned, I don't think. I saw one Dragon and one Nano Cubic, but I don't
I
think
think
I
there
saw.
was one Bones because that
Okay, so
the
maybe I
one.
missed the Bones, but
Yeah, they're the ULP guy because he said.
okay.
I was like, oh, the X99s. But that's it. That's
But still,
crazy.
only one in comparison to 22
Yeah,
Spitfires.
yeah. Spitfire runs the game.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
What else we got?
I mean, that's all I totaled was just the wheels and the trucks because those are the easiest ones where it's like
Yeah,
there's
the
only going
boards
to
are
be so many.
Yeah.
I wasn't totaling up bearings or boards or whatever.
Wow. But that is, interesting. Really interesting. Like just how Formula 4 heavy the wheel market is.
Yeah, because you notice like nobody was like, oh, I just read regular Spitfires. It was
Yeah,
all
no.
Formula 4s.
When I thought the guy said that, I was like, what? Who rides those?
Yeah.
But he had Formula 4s. All right.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
it's interesting.
Yeah. This was fun. It's cool to see what everybody out there rides too. I like pick up some, tips and whatnot from people. So definitely cool to see everybody has their own little thing that they do.
Yeah, it's cool to see like what the people that are listening are into so we can kind of like navigate those lanes and see.
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely. Cool. Well, I guess we'll head out now and hopefully we'll be back in a week with something else. And we just put out the, latest episode of Podus Operandi with Transworld. So if you're bored and want to check something out, you can go check that out. We watched Free Your Mind. That I only knew Rob Welsh was in it. I forgot who else was in it. So blew that one. Cool. All right.
Yeah, it was
Mitch, thanks again. I kept you up late for this one, so I appreciate it.
fun. It's all good.